I'm a ravenous protagonist, running with the scavengers. None of y'all would be ready for dramatic savageness.
In this episode, we have stories about kindergarten, Jesus, school, embezzlement, and all the hilariousness in between. Enjoy. I mean, there's lots of stories that we'll get back to. High school was middle school. I mean, some of the stuff's deep, and I listened to some of these podcasts. There's one out there now with a young couple. They're having their second baby. They do well. They have a lot of followers, but I kind of laugh at them because
It's not empty nesting though. They're having a baby.
No, it's not an empty nest. You
No.
can't even find like couples podcasts that are interesting. So there's one I'm not going to name them. So they got this like 2-year-old. They're having another baby. They're talking about everything's fantastic, and they're in their early 30s, late 20s. They're in great shape, and they've got all this energy. And they're like, yeah, we went on a vacation with our neighbors because our neighbor down the street has a 2-year-old and another one down the street has a 2-year-old. We all went on vacation together because our kids are all 2 and they all get along. They're awesome. And I'm just like, they ain't gonna last.
Or they're doing something right.
Or they ain't gonna last.
Someone in there isn't working.
2-year-olds will play with anybody.
I suspect someone's working at home or not working right now and doing it right.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that works. They may even make money off their podcast, so I'm not sure exactly how that works, but that ain't gonna last. I mean, I don't want to be Mr. Bummer, but 2-year-olds will play with anybody. So, wait till they start bullying each other, and now it's weird between you and the other parents, and you don't talk to them anymore, and yeah, that's all coming for you. Get ready for that.
Maybe the kids will be best friends like when we grew up in the 80s.
I love your rosy outlook, which I don't know where that comes from, but yeah, maybe that'll happen. That's, welcome to life. So we'll have stories about, school. We have stories about
vacation stories too.
Yeah, we have stories about school. Miranda, we were going to bring her to kindergarten. In our state, kindergarten wasn't mandatory until the year after Miranda was to be a kindergartner.
We have kindergarten stories.
Avery went to kindergarten, I wouldn't say free, but paid for by the state like a first grader. Miranda, we had to pay for it. And we had a kindergarten picked out. It was right down the street.
We're doing the kindergarten episode right now. Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep going, baby.
Okay.
We'll keep it going, baby. So we found a kindergarten. It was down the street. It was within our price range. Who knows? I don't even know how we paid for this shit. So, and then we go to visit.
Well, it was part-time, and
it's still
she did do a little preschool thing.
It was
before that.
Yeah, but this was all half day, if that makes sense. It wasn't like preschool. We went 2 hours here, 3 hours there, blah, blah, blah. This was a kindergarten. You were there for a half a day, either the morning session or the afternoon session. So this was a kind of a kindergarten thing. Anyway, it didn't really happen because we go into like the week before. It's like the meet and greet, the open house. You meet the teacher. You get to see the classroom. But, these are
got to go to that.
Yeah.
Did we actually walk
it's
in
up
with
near
her?
It's up near.
I think they moved before that.
No. It was where the restaurant is now.
Right. But did we actually go in and she met?
We walked in, we met the
little
teacher.
Kids?
There might have been a kid there, but it wasn't for that. So we went in and we met the teacher again. We saw the area, and again, in our state, because there was no kindergarten in the schools, daycares had to do it. So this was not a classroom by any means. This was a daycare.
Private learning center.
This was a daycare center with a desk.
Week, but a few days, maybe 3-4 days, we get an email that they're moving to the other side.
They told us when we walked in.
Separate town.
Yeah.
They told us when we walked in. They might have told us when we walked in. I might have.
Yeah, they told us.
A little bit of Alzheimer's.
By the way, we're moving to the other side of this town.
Okay, I remember. And they didn't act like that was a big deal. Yeah. But when you were
like, huh?
How am I getting her?
Because I was going to drop her off or pick her up there. No,
I was going to be the drop off.
Yes, and I was going to be the picker up.
There was no way I was making it to that side.
No, that was the other side. That was on the border of the other state. That was on the border of Massachusetts.
Yes, it was.
So that wasn't going to happen. So we had to find a spot. We had to find a kindergarten preschool thing, we had like a week to find one.
Yeah, because this was all set all summer.
Yeah, all summer. We were going to go here,
right before it starts.
but nothing. Everything goes smooth.
Yeah.
Everything goes smooth. So we so that
Then
happened, and
we
we
found
had to.
Jesus because the only school that was open was
Yes.
a private religious school.
Private Catholic school.
Yes, with uniforms like I grew up in.
Yeah, uniforms.
So we became a very devout Catholic family
Yep, they had
and went for that visit.
desks. They had desks,
We weren't even patrons of the church yet.
or ever. So yeah, so my mom helped us out with that tuition a little bit because it was a little pricey. We weren't expecting it. It was a little bit more than we were expecting. So
And that was a good 7 miles further than the other one, but we made it work.
yeah, at least it was in the same town. And back then, my mother was able to drive and help us out with pickups every once in a while or drop offs. And so that actually was a blessing. And not because it was the Jesus school, but because it was she met a lot of friends that she was friends with for a long time.
Yeah, they were cute class.
Yeah,
But wait
there
a
was-
minute, going back to your mother picking them up, that didn't happen too often.
No, maybe once.
Please
twice.
tell me she had a car seat in the car.
Well,
What
yeah,
was that?
we're not idiots.
And maybe I didn't know all that.
No, nowadays we would forget a car seat. We would forget
Yes.
the kid on the top of the car, drive away.
We might.
We can't remember anything. But back then we were pretty good about it. So, yeah. So we went from, hey, you have a school to no, you don't have a school. But now you have a school, but it's twice as much. So that was the thing there. And then she ended up, Avery went there then following year for preschool, and they had the same teacher.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
So cute.
They ended up with the same teacher, obviously different years. So that was good. That kind of worked out. But again, nothing goes smooth.
What didn't work out was being religious.
Yeah, and the principal ended
Yeah.
up being a what do you call it?
Embezzler.
Embezzler.
That wasn't very Catholic of her,
No.
but we
No.
did the whole communion thing and
We did
going
first
to
communion.
church and
Yeah.
church at
You
all the
might have went to
holidays
church.
and sometimes in between. And
You did?
now I did all that with the girls.
I
You
did not
didn't.
do
You
that.
didn't come, but we
No.
went.
No, thanks.
We went just like my mom brought us.
Yeah.
And what's their religion now?
What's our religion?
What's the girls' religion now?
None.
Now that they're grown. It's like
Tarot cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And TikTok.
Weirdos. Yep. Witchcraft.
They're not
Sorcery.
Really, they're not into that.
No, they're
Every
atheist.
girl
I would
that
say
age
atheist.
has an astrology chart. I
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it too.
yeah,
You
yeah.
think your dreams mean something.
So I would say atheist, but so we were good Catholics. We get them baptized and we get them first communion. And that was it. So
That's not really good Catholics, but we were
compared to-
okay. We were okay. We didn't embezzle.
No, we didn't embezzle. We we got them 2 of the sacraments.
But I remember us being so broke that, as it is coming back to me, that we asked for the leftover, or let's put it, hand-me-down uniforms.
Yes, we
Because we were a last-minute family,
Mhm.
and the uniform cost so many $100 because you needed one for every day.
did. Yes.
And you also needed the right socks, blouse, which we could have done. But
We
the
ended up-
uniform itself, they let us use some hand-me-downs.
Yeah, they had uniforms that were given back, and we used.
Yes.
You said you had to wear maroon pants.
I think it was
Gray.
all
It
navy
was gray
blue.
pants you had to have.
Wasn't it navy blue?
But we ended
White
up
and
buying
navy
sweatpants.
blue.
Miranda wore a lot of
And,
sweatpants.
and that wasn't cool because, I already cried myself to work and then I cried myself home knowing we weren't affording the kindergarten uniform.
Well, one of the big things of Catholicism is you gotta pay, baby. You're paying.
What was going to the principal of
Yeah.
the Catholic school.
Yeah, the embezzler took the money, took our pennies. So
But they had an awesome teacher.
they did. It was a
Yes.
blessing from the Jesus School.
Yes.
Who
Who became their softball coach. And that we could afford.
I don't think
One of them
did.
had them for a softball coach.
Really,
Yeah.
because the people in this town kind
Was
of
she
gave
like
her the boot.
assistant coach?
She was a good coach, but she wasn't
I'm
in,
thinking
in
when
with
they
the
were,
new
like,
crowd, so they gave her the old
5.
boot. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about. I don't know how that worked.
Not 8U, 12U, all of that. It was younger.
Oh, like no,
I
but
was
you-
coaching.
You coached.
I coached. Maybe she was
Yeah.
just at the
No,
games a lot, so I assumed she
so
was
you
coaching
coached,
with
and then
me.
they had Alexa's dad, then me,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I
me
coached
again.
them up through 8U
Come on.
till I
Yeah.
got the boot, and then I got the
You
boot.
got the boot.
Yeah.
Because you're a silly woman. Silly woman coaching sports.
There were no
What
women
do you think
softball
you're doing?
coaches here. No women playing softball. What?
Yeah. Well, you don't know the rules of the softball, little lady. Can't have that. Why'd you go knit a sweater or go bake a cake
Nice.
or make a baby
Nice.
with a cake with the babies?
Well, the women worked in the snack shop.
True.
Yeah,
That's where they
this
put.
is where I said we should have written down a syllabus or some sort of agenda because we have so many
we're riffing.
stories.
We're
going
riffing, baby.
off on
We're
little-
riffing. It's called riffing.
Also sounds like we have a little dementia
Oh, we do.
as we go to different topics. We're just rando things.
So that was the preschool, kindergarten, and then we finally got to go to kindergarten for realsies at the
Public school.
public school in town when
Best
Avery
years.
went for half day morning
Yes.
kindergarten.
It was
And
the best years.
that's when I
so
had
cute.
I changed my shift at work and I
Mhm.
started working 2 in, and I got home in time to pick Avery up at school.
Yeah.
So it was me and a bunch of moms in the pickup line.
Yes, you
It
were.
was me and a bunch of moms. And when it was time to volunteer at the store during lunch so they can buy their whatever, and it was me and the moms.
That's right. You
Yep.
had your own shift.
Yep, it was
And
me and the
I
moms.
couldn't
And it
volunteer
was,
at that, but I volunteered at all the
field days.
little class parties.
We did field days.
And all the fundraisers. I even called out bingo at a few of those.
Mm.
And I did field days and
Yeah.
field trips.
Yeah, I didn't do any field trips.
Yeah.
No, I did the field day. Yeah. I did scooters. 2 years in a row, I was in charge of the scooters.
Field trip should be an episode. It should be an episode.
I don't know anything about
'Cause
that, so
get
you're
to
gonna have
see
to do
how
that.
Other people's kids are too. And
Oh,
you see
boy.
if you're doing an okay job.
Huh.
Yeah, we were doing okay.
Yeah. So that school, actually, it was an old school, in the only school in town that's been around since the 40s, 50s.
Well, half of it's closed off.
Yeah. So, and that
What
was the only
is
school in town
asbestos?
when I moved here in '85. That was the only school. High school had to go to a different town.
It's across the street from a cow ranch,
It is.
in fact.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cow Ranch, where they
No,
don't murder them there, but they will be murdered at
they
some
raise
point.
them. Yeah,
They raise them
We-
there.
We don't
They
tell
put
them
their
about that.
Their hamburgers.
We just drive by that.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of
Their
tractors do
eventual
drive by that.
hamburgers. Yeah. So
It's a small town.
small town, where you know everybody, and sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's not so good. I mean, everybody knows me 'cause I've been here 40
It was good
years.
until Facebook. And
I
then
think
you
you're right.
discovered
Social media.
what kind of town you really did live in.
Yeah, so we
'Cause on the softball field, it was fine.
because you're from the town over. Like I said, I had to go to a school in your town because we didn't have high school in this town when I moved here. They do now, and so we school stories. You gotta watch what you say sometimes.
Another
with
day.
School stories.
Yeah, another day.
So that school was. I love when we talk about the scarecrow contest.
We'll talk about that. Could be an episode.
That's
You mean for the kids or for some dads?
well, it's kids don't care. You know, the first they make a mistake by you. You only get to pick a partner. And
Okay, we're
kids-
doing this episode now. Okay, yes.
The more
So the
the
scarecrow
more- the
contest
more
is a
you less you
project
do.
where they have to make a scarecrow. Cute idea
Right.
for the fall, and it is a tradition in town.
So some kids are like, this. Well, can't say Harry Potter wasn't around back then. I don't think. And they'd be like, here's Barbie, or and it's it's
Yeah,
a,
but they weren't scarecrows. None of them
No,
were made
they
of
weren't
hay or
really
straw,
scarecrow.
like I thought they were
No,
supposed
they weren't.
to be.
and some of them were made by like NASA engineers.
Yes.
And you go to the thing, and you win a ribbon, and the kids want to win, and there's yours, which is
Made of straw.
made of straw and a pillowcase.
Yeah.
And then there's one you come that's like
Steel,
titanium with
PCV
Kevlar.
tubing.
Yeah,
It has
and
lights.
It has lights and it does math and
It's part like
it
AI
has a
before
720
AI was a
credit
thing.
score and it
Yes.
you know,
And I think there was one year we made the scarecrow. The girls always made the scarecrow, them or with a friend, and sometimes the head fell off at the display.
we'd always have to step in at the last minute and help out. But we weren't the family that made it from scratch. It was obviously not made by a child. And the school would just, they shouldn't have given the ribbons out, the ones that were obviously made.
I was proud of their scarecrows.
I don't even know they were. One was a panda bear that the head fell
They
off.
made a Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't
That
remember
was
what it looked
cute.
like.
They made the yarn, yellow hair with yarn.
Okay.
Let's just say they made them the other years and they were cute, whatever. We don't remember what they were.
I don't remember.
We were there, though. We represented.
Yeah, so that was a pain in the ass every year.
Yeah.
That
One
frickin'
was
thing.
like not a Bluey, but whatever that cartoon was back then. It was a cartoon character one.
Yeah.
But there was no AI to ours.
No. We didn't have the skills to make something really good.
We could have.
And
We could have
didn't-
asked the
I
Papa
couldn't
to
have.
stand
Maybe
up.
you could have, but I could not have.
Papa had some carpentry skills.
Yeah.
But we didn't ask Papa.
No, he had a job. He still worked.
Yeah, he
Didn't have time
did.
for that crap. He didn't have no damn scarecrow crap.
Yeah.
Some scarecrow jubilee bullshit. And they don't have time for that shit.
So you're going to get bleeped again there.
No, I won't bleep
Yeah.
that out. That's no big deal. That's how I talk. That's how I brings it. I brings it real.
Nice.
That's how we do
And then
it.
the part 2 to the scarecrow was the gingerbread house tradition. That was in middle school.
Was it?
Then you had to make a gingerbread house. So they did make a gingerbread house, but they had to compete against some other moms that made gingerbread houses. So
I don't remember the
those
gingerbread house. I remember on Entrepreneur Day.
there was that project too.
You
There
had
were
to come
a lot
up with-
of
you had to-
at-home- aren't they fun?
You had like a budget,
Yeah.
like $5 to come up with something that you could sell,
Yes.
make and sell.
Did we get an A on that project? We did help them with those.
We did that thing with
Yeah.
the rubber glove and the things in it, and that
Oh,
exploded.
the orbs. That got
The
messy.
orbs, and
We did
ornaments.
ornaments. There was an
Ugh.
ornament one because she was an artist.
But then, one would go through the school, then the other one would go through the school, and it was the same damn thing every year with the stupid, it's either the scarecrow or the frickin' entrepreneur stupid thing where you
It
had
brings
to make
the
something.
community members together.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it did. Brought them right together. Yep. So that was fun.
Little
And there were-
healthy competition.
And we'll get to the high school, 'cause that's its own story. Yeah, you think you would escape it and go to high school? Okay, thank God. I don't have to make any more stupid ass scarecrows.
You merged right into the high
Entrepreneur
school.
days. No, we're not going to talk about the high school because that's a long story.
Okay.
So you think you get to high school and you don't have to do that shit anymore, but oh no, they have something waiting for us. And they also ended up changing the rules of the high school. That story. We'll tease it by saying that, needless to say, when Avery left that school, they had to change the rules.
Yes.
Yeah, the Avery rules.
She set her footprint there.
She certainly did. She certainly did. So one of the things that's off schedule here is one of the things I hate the most.
I think there's been
One
a
of the
lot of
worst
things
things.
off
One
schedule.
of the worst parts of the year for me is daylight savings time, and that's tonight.
That's tonight. You
Yes.
told me
So we're
that
going to
like
lose an
3
hour's
days
sleep
ago.
tonight, which it really
Oh.
sucks because I have to usually get up on tomorrow. It'll be Sunday. I usually get up at 3:45. It'll actually be 2:45.
Yeah, work's not going to be fun Monday.
With all that sun, yeah, but what about all that sun that we're going to get? Yeah, all that sun. It's been the worst winter in a long time. So this sucks. So I hate daylight saving time in the spring because you spring ahead and when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, you don't mind as much losing the hour of sleep because you're springing ahead. It's closer to summer, but no, it sucks. I don't think you can't change it unless everybody changes it. And there's people who want like Massachusetts to change it to, we're not doing it. You can't do that because people work in your state that live in other states. You can't do that. Can't do
Well,
that.
didn't this begin? It originated with farming. right?
Right. But if everybody wants to get rid of it, I'm fine with that. But you each individual state can't say, well, I'm doing it, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it, I'm doing it. You can't do that. It can't be. I mean, I can't wake up at 2:45, drive to Massachusetts, and it's an hour later.
I'm already tired thinking of losing that hour.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that at all. So, we'll get into other things like our college experience, maybe.
Yeah, we'll set up a plan here.
Yeah, so we'll get into college experience. I actually went to college. People don't know that. I actually went to a college.
It's not every day someone takes leisure math, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Leisure math, and God rest his soul, Mr. Cook, Alvern High School. God rest his soul, Mr. Cook. Leisure math and consumer math.
That's right.
Took those two classes, baby.
You're still better at math than me, and I went all the way up to Triggs.
I was this close to being salutatorian. About 150 students away. I don't even know how many were in our graduating class.
We had about 350 in mine.
Yeah, about that.
352.
1,000 kids in the school. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about college. Your nickname in college was Five Guys. Yeah, remember that?
That's not fair. Try one guy. I think there should be an.
It's because you like hamburgers.
I think what?
Five Guys hamburgers.
Sure.
That's why.
There was we should do a FAFSA episode, even though you suffered through that more than me. You might want to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll do an episode on the bullshit
I could
of
talk
FAFSA.
about college tours before the empty
college
nesting.
tours we had to do with FAFSA. If you don't know, you have to do
family
for
fun
your
days.
yeah
A little bit of that.
yeah. So FAFSA is a thing where you have to do to get if you want financial aid from the government.
This episode's going to be about number 13.
Yeah, so if you want financial assistance from the government, you have to fill out a FAFSA form online, FAFSA, and I'll just tell you now, you're not getting any. So if you make
we're millionaires.
You make more than $100 a year.
That's right. We needed help with getting our kindergarten uniform, but we make
too
much money.
We make way too much money
to get
for
any.
FAFSA, so that's a joke. That's a joke. So that's what that's going to be. So try to get 2 episodes out of this. Hopefully, I can't read how long we went. But
I think we went a little long.
We'll cut it up.
Long-winded.
We'll cut it up. I'll cut it up, make it nice.
It was a dress rehearsal for me.
Well, it counts. It's episode 1 and 2 probably. Yeah, so this counts. It's what is it called again? Ever Ending Story.
That is the name of a movie.
Never ending fucking bullshit.
Wait, we got it. Every waking moment.
Every waking moment.
There you go. We should write that down.
Because
should write it here so remember where we are and what we're doing.
Every waking moment, you will have something. You will worry about your children. You will worry about your job.
Or if your phone's underneath the car and
you
can't,
you won't be able to sleep because when you have kids, you are a parent every waking moment of the day. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We post a new one every Sunday. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. See you next Sunday.
I'm a ravenous protagonist, running with the scavengers. None of y'all would be ready for dramatic savageness. I took a break so I could absorb the world around me. And in my absence, the king is what the people crown me. I watched the music decline, hip-hop the rise and fall. The enemy's mind blind, I had to burn it all.